Claire has the latest in playing footwear, of course.
Sort of heard him playing here one weekend, and then sort of heard it against Falls.
Falls falling around.
It's not too bad though. Just 200 pros.
Welcome everybody to the 2018 Australian Open Doubles Final. My name's Pete Boyles and with me is...
Al Ramsey. I thought you were going to introduce me there, Petty, but no.
Nah.
Left me hanging?
No, I'll leave you hanging. We'll be commentating on at least the first set or two of the match, and we'll see if we can find anybody in a condition to continue on later in the match. Excitement's pretty high, Al. What do you reckon?
I'm super excited for this match, Petty. I think the doubles final is always a highlight of any Open. 4 top players battling it out.
I think the crowd's been warming up for some of them for several hours.
I think they're all ready to go. I expect a very raucous crowd today.
Who's your favourite?
I think my favourite is probably the Fahey combination. Both been in pretty good form this week. Nikki has played some excellent matches. A little unlucky to perhaps lose to Chappie in the end, but Rob certainly showed his class yesterday. What about you?
I don't really have a strong opinion, mate, but I reckon I'm going to go for KB and Chappie.
Ooh,
yeah,
controversy early on.
Just to keep it interesting. I think it's going to be a game with a lot of good retrieving and some really powerful forcing. I think this week these 4 players have generally served pretty well through the tournament. I know that Mr. Curley wasn't too impressed with the giraffe I read in today's summary from yesterday.
Did a lot of high serving this week.
Yeah. I must admit I haven't watched every minute of every game, but I thought some of those giraffes would look pretty good to me.
Yeah, and very deliberate strategy by Kieran early on in his match with Rob, wanting to limit his returner serve by serving high drops, and interesting to see if he pulls it out today in the doubles. Interestingly, in their semi-final, both Chappie and Nikki came back to the railroad throughout the match, particularly in the latter stages.
Pretty seductive serve on this court. Takes a fair bit of cut. Penthouse is really hard to read. It's inconsistent, so you get a lot of value for a good tight railroad. Any insight into the strategies of either team, Al?
No, I think certainly the service end team currently, Rob and Nikki, will play a pretty power game, I think. Expect some big hitting out of both of those, particularly at the receiver's end. And Chappie's got that very strong backhand force, which I expect him to pull out quite a lot, particularly at the receiving end. Trying to get the serve a lot, I think. What about you? See any particular insight?
I think Kieran has had a lot of success in recent years by really being disciplined with his retrieval, staying in the rallies, making sure that there's no free points or easy points given away. I haven't seen a lot of Chappie playing doubles, but having stood at the other end of him playing when he's playing singles, he can give it a whack.
He certainly. I remember distinctly playing doubles against him, I think in the Australian Open when we held it here back in 2011, and I was up at the net, and he has a very strong backhand flick force, which certainly gave me some nervous moments at times.
Probably time for me to give a bit of a shout out to Kyle and Chris, a couple of guys I work with. They're a bunch of reprobates. There's no other way to describe them, really.
Listening in, are they?
Yeah, they're listening in, apparently.
This match will be a best of 5 6-game sets played off level. If you are not sat in the seat that you have paid for, please go and see Liz Eden and she will sort you out. Make sure all mobile phones are turned to silent or off, please, and keep movement during the rallies down to a minimum. Also, can you make sure that you wait for
Probably time to gloat here out. Perfect playing conditions. Hobart.
Fabulous in Hobart.
21 degrees.
We've got Rob Fahey and Nikki Howell, number 1 seeds.
A bit warmer than -7 in Boston, I'm just looking at.
Receiving end, number 2 seeds, Kieran Booth and Chris Chapman.
Our marker for today is Hobart's new assistant professional, Zach Edel.
First set, love all.
Excellent addition to our club. Straight up, some high serves.
Fifteen love.
I always find in doubles it takes a while for one or the other teams to really settle.
Yeah, I think that's very true. I think in doubles you feel the pressure to press early on, and I think can cause a lot of early unforced errors. Good early chase there. Straight in the galleries from Chappie.
Door, thanks, Ruth, thanks.
Bit of variation initially from Rob, not just going straight to the railroad.
I'll be interested to see if he continues to mix it up during the day. Kieran appears to be into the railroad for a long chase.
$15-40.
Rob ever watchful patrolling the back of the court there.
Game.
Nikki obviously very athletic up in front of the tambo.
Love.
So both players creeping up a little bit there, both standing basically in line with the tambo, ready for the volley.
Good put away shot there from Chris. I think with Chappie you really see that squash background in his game.
He obviously has a very, very strong wrist that you see him pull out quite a lot. A lot of those digs out of the corner you see him get just with a very strong flick of his wrist.
40-15.
Great reactions there from all players.
Very patient rally from both ends.
Can be easy in doubles, I think, to get sucked into pressing all the time.
We might have been caught doing that a few times over the years.
Once or twice, Petty, I think. Once or twice. Patience is very strong in doubles at times.
It's unlucky there,
Advantage
Kieran, just,
receivers.
as we were talking about, just trying to stay in the rally, just knocked it a bit high.
One thing I've noticed, particularly this week, is players using all the angles of the court. Lots of speculative boasts and variety of shots, keeping themselves in the rally, but still trying to keep it tight enough to not get crushed on the return.
No. Stop. Off Rob's racket.
Good rest. Good rest.
Juice. Advantage.
It's good heat generated there by Nick. Make it a bit tough, very tough volley at that pace.
Great play there from Kieran.
Juice. Better than second gallery.
Already early in this game, Al, you're seeing Chappie leaving a lot of those drives when he's under the galleries and then getting them on the way back through. A lot of us get sucked into trying to volley that one on the way past with the 3 nanoseconds of time.
And again, I think it reflects one of the strength of Chappie's game, that play off the back wall, picking the ball up on the run. And as you say, it does give yourself a lot more time.
Al, one of the great pleasures sitting in this chair is having our version of Rick Finlay sitting next to us.
Rick Dunn.
Yeah, P Dizzle as he's known to friends,
Advantage servers.
family.
Great fly-in
Chase better than
commentary
second
support come down from Melbourne, especially for the event.
It's dedication.
Juice. As in second gallery. Juice.
Quite a long game here. Only 1-love in the first set.
Advantage, one chase.
Both teams still trying to find a bit of a rhythm, I think.
Advantage receivers, hazard, second gallery. Juice.
Really interesting that point watching Rob come further and further up the court as he got more confident in their dominant position.
Fault.
Yeah, one of Rob's great skills is knowing where the ball's going to go and putting himself there. And I think you're right. Felt very confident in that point. See again.
Better than the last gallery.
Dominating the middle of the court there, putting a lot of pressure on both KB and Chappie to find a way around him.
Very early in the match, but I do feel like we've already found a bit of a rhythm. Both teams seem to have settled down. Pretty long, competitive rallies
First
going
chase
on
is
now.
better than 6 yards.
Not many unforced errors. Great shot.
Beautifully disguised.
Very deceptive shot from Chappie.
Receivers, ball up, please.
Graham Holland would be very happy if he was watching.
Sure he is, Al.
Advantage receivers
Big
better
shout out to
than
G.
the last gallery. Service point. Juice.
That's a very high quality shot by Rob. Complete control.
Double hit. Thank
I
you.
do something similar.
Service point.
Do you?
Just lacking the control and the
Oh,
intent.
right. Is that the one where you frame the inside of the racket and yeah?
The Al Ramsey special, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I have it down to a fine art.
Yep. We need to make sure that gets in one of the next tennis publications.
I'm working on it.
Games to love.
Very deceptive.
Last gallery.
Nice pace there from Kieran.
15 love.
Backhand drag serve there that Rob's deployed. You don't see that too often.
Not very often at all.
Yeah, served it all week.
There's been a lot of mixturing of serves, particularly from Rob early on.
Second gallery. 2 chases. Energetic, isn't it?
Haven't seen any huge
15 love,
forces to
service
date in
lead.
this game.
Chase the last
People-
gallery.
I think trying to force with accuracy rather than absolute power so far. On cue.
He says.
Yeah.
15 love. Second gallery. 15 all. Sorry. Yep. That's 15. Hazard 1 and 2. 30-15.
Pretty important game here, I think, for KB and Chappie. Want to go 3 love down early on. A tough road to come back from against the quality pair of opponents.
40-15, 1 chase.
See, Chappie and Kieran particularly putting a lot of heavy cut balls into the rally. And for those of you that haven't played in Hobart, it's an older court. So a fair bit of variable play off the back wall and the side wall, and takes a lot of cut.
40-15, receivers lead. Chase hazard 1 and 2.
So fizzing a ball in the corner, you get a lot of value on this
Hazard
court
1 and
compared
2.
to some other courts.
Confusion there against correct receiver.
Sorry.
Beautiful rally.
Game. 1 game to 2.
gets the Chappie Booth combination on the board, and I think that's probably a fair result for the first part of this game.
No, not up. 4 yards.
Oh, good call from Zach. In early, decisive.
Beautiful retrieval from Rob there.
15, love. Ooh. 30, love. Forty love, 1 chase.
What's it, the camera?
Some tight railroad there from Nick.
Very, very tight. Very cheap points. 3 very quick and cheap points there for Nicky and Rob.
So at this rate, Al, I reckon we might be here till about 10 o'clock.
40 love, receivers lead. Chase.
Australian
4
Eastern
yards.
Standard. No, summertime.
I think that's right. Just received a little bit of feedback on our commentary, Pete. I've been told that we say a lot less than Graham Bradford.
I'm shocked. I hear shocked.
14.
Letting the game talk for itself a little bit more.
Yeah. Was that positive?
Yeah, I think that it was some positive feedback, yes.
Game. 3 games to 1. Love.
Unlucky from the service, and they played that point pretty well. Kieran just missed that last shot at the grill. World's smallest grill, I think it's worth stating.
Is it official we have the world's smallest grill?
I don't really care, Al. I'm just going to call it the smallest.
This is the claim we make?
Yeah.
30, 15.
It certainly is very small. But it makes it that much more rewarding, I think, when you nail it in there. Kieran again persisting with the high serves.
Great volley from Rob. Still conceded the point, but Chappie laced that.
30 all.
Fantastic hands.
$40-30.
Relatively unforced error there. Hasn't been too many of those.
Not very many at all. I think we're starting to see Nicky come into the game a little bit more. Probably been pretty dominant early on in the first few games, but I think Chappie and KB are playing into Nicky a little bit more as we go along.
Oh. Advantage.
Not a high first serve percentage here from Kieran at the moment. Putting a lot of pressure on that second serve. Rob has been very successfully capitalising.
4 games to 1. Love.
So when I was commentating on Friday afternoon, having a chat to Justin Legg about the new trend in self-styled rackets from the professionals.
I thought it was black shoes was a new trend.
Black shoes, I think, is the new trend, but
I didn't get that memo.
You are seeing out there, you've got the Rob Fahey racket and the Australian colours of Nicky Howell.
Thank you.
Interested, Pete, what design would you go with your racket? If you had a choice.
I think I'd go red, white and black.
Red, white and black?
Yeah. Something tells me you might be blue and white.
Your racket's already donning a St Kilda sticker.
Service
Just
point.
to make sure you feel ashamed when you nick it off the peg, Al.
30-15.
Cut through my strings.
I think it's a great addition to the game. Gray's racket coming out in all sorts of different colours. Just adds that bit of extra interest and personalisation for the professionals.
Nice shot.
30 all.
One of the things you really notice in Nick's game is his ability, I thought he was going to do it then, is to step forward and hit those drive volleys from sort of knee height and lower.
Yeah, he did some fantastic ones of those against Chappie in their singles match. Hits it with excellent pace, but always very accurate.
40-30, 1 chase.
Hits it hard and accurately, because he's stepping forward and taking it early, he just cuts down the time. So unless you happen to be standing there, you've got no chance.
Forty 30 serves lead. Chase the door. The door.
Very good serve.
Game. 5 games to 1.
I think it's been said most of the matches over the past weekend, but huge shout out to Duff TV for the streaming over the last 4 days of the semi-finals and the finals. They've done a fantastic job.
World class, no doubt.
Quality has been excellent.
Better than 1 yard. Hazard. No strokes.
So coming up on the end of the first set here probably, with Rob and Nick looking like they'll take this one out. I think we'll see a change in receivers from Kieran and Chappie.
Good power from KB. Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't
15
you?
all.
Long way to go in this match, but I would expect them to change if they get the chance.
Yeah, I agree. Second set, don't really have too much to lose. Great get off the edge from the winning gallery there. Oh, great play there.
Good drive.
Very great play.
Wouldn't mind seeing Kieran really tee off on a couple of
30,
returns
15.
here. Just
Yes. Hazard.
start rushing these boys, even if he hits a few on the penthouse. Unlucky there. Ball just dragged onto the wall there. It made Chappie have to hit a fairly defensive shot.
Great awareness from Rob there to pick up that one as it went round Nick. I think you're right in your comments there about Kieran and probably Chappie wanting to put a little bit more pressure on. I think you see it in what he's coming back from KB and Chris. A lot of their balls are going high, but I think...
Yeah, particularly their cut volleys, they look like they're really trying to put a lot of cut on there. And they're sort of spraying them a bit high and putting themselves under a bit of pressure on that next ball. Not that you'd ever see us do that, Al. We,
never floor all the way.
Yeah.
That's our mantra.
Power, precision, and consistency.
40-30 receivers lead. Chase Hazard.
And we're lucky if we get 1 out of 3.
Hazard.
I'd like to call you a liar, Al, but you know.
People have seen us play.
Yeah.
Game and first set.
Very solid first set there.
6-1.
Pretty dominant in the end, I think. And be interesting
set,
to see
level.
if we see any change in tactics from Chappie and KB.
Love. Time. All.
We have seen a change in service and receiver here, interestingly. First set, Kieran was serving to Rob. Decision Rob and Nick have made from the receiver's end after winning the first set comfortably to that serving pair. Maybe looking for a bit of variety, a bit of interest in the game. Not your standard decision after winning a set 6-1.
Oh, it's a bit of a surprise, no doubt about that.
(40-15), one chase.
I think if KB and Chappie can get their first ball quality up and consistency up just a little bit, they'll start a lot more of these rallies in a stronger position, because I think they've been long rallies, but they've been defensive for too much of them in the first set.
30-40.
Yeah, no, totally agree. I think they've been putting themselves under a lot of pressure early on in the rests.
First gallery.
Been really notable all week that anything down the receivers end that Chappie gets off that back wall that he gets half a look at, drills pace into last gallery. Super accurate on that shot. Bit of a surprise, Rob.
Service lead.
Wasn't covering it really.
Yeah, definitely is his trademark.
Off the bando into the jet on now.
Just as Rob planned, I think, there. Yeah. You can see the skill. Look at this. He lines it up, aims for the bando, straight in the dead on.
Even got away with telegraphing that shot, I thought.
A true mark of a champion and a Hobart local, I think. Knew exactly where to play there.
Advantage.
Cracked racket for Chappie.
Yep.
That's his new bat. Chappie is on Team Gold Leaf. Nice shot there from Kieran. I think that's something they should look for as well. They're playing a lot of big balls. I think those cut balls into the corner would help them out.
Second gallery.
Yeah, the slower ball, change of pace ball works well in doubles, just like in singles.
New variety of serve.
Advantage, one chase.
Don't see the caterpillar pulled out very often.
What do you think about Hobart's tambour, Al?
I have a lot of thoughts about the Hobart tambour, Petey.
Are any of them mentionable
not
in
many,
polite company?
not many of them are mentionable. Remains a mystery to me, Pete. One of the things I have been very impressed with this week is the ability of the professionals to read it and just be in the right spot.
Shame's the rest of us that have spent a lifetime here and can't get in the right spot.
Absolutely, it's both impressive and very depressing at the same time.
Yeah.
I do like that it, you know, intended or not, has that slight twist to it that produces different results depending where you hit it. But certainly adds the challenge factor. Good early game there for KB and Chris.
Ball. The edge.
We'll be looking to get a good early start here, I think. Do a lot wrong in that first set.
Love. Fault.
First time I can recall really hearing that crowd, Al. Been pretty subdued so far.
A little bit subdued.
Stroke. 15 all.
What do you reckon the split is for the support?
Well, I was about to say, I'm wondering if the crowds have been a little bit quiet because there's no clear hometown favourite.
You can't mean that, surely. World champion.
Oh,
Hobart's his court.
Kieran's a local boy. All four of them are Australians. Chappie will have been disappointed to miss that one.
30-15.
Trademark shot of Chris. Is that pace you were looking for, Pete, from KB?
Yeah.
Disappointing from there, but just some excellent calling from both players, both Rob and Chappie during that point.
40-15.
Oh. It's always a nice feeling when those ones hit the slot.
One game all.
Cut down viciously off what looked like a fairly sedate shot from Nick.
Second gallery.
I feel like the pace from Chappie and KB on their return of serve stepped up this set.
Just a little bit. I think they might have been listening to you. Responded. Just pressing that little bit faster. Oh. Eyes lit up there from Nick, I think.
15 love.
Just that slight increase in pace, just getting a slightly, very slightly lower quality first ball back from their opponents.
Second gallery.
No, that's right.
Twice.
Slightly
Good
less
chases.
control there for Nick and Rob, I think, with that extra pace. Good tactic. Petey, I know you played Rob and Nick in the semi-final. What was your takeaway from
15 love.
their game
Service
style,
lead.
playing them?
Second gallery.
It's a good question, Al. They were pretty kind to us. What I have noticed about
15 all.
Rob's game
Second
compared to
gallery.
a long time ago. You'll see that cut volley he hits now. He hits with a
30,
lot of
15.
a high margin for error. And he hits it several yards slower than he did a decade or two ago. He used to really rip it in. Vicious. These days, I think he's happy for a consistently strong shot.
Do you think he's gained greater accuracy by doing that?
Without a doubt.
Fantastic rest there. It's an excellent defence from Kieran and Chris.
30 all.
Not looking to do too much with the ball, but very solid and very accurate there.
Yeah, I think that drop in Rob's cut volley pace betrays a man really confident in what he's doing on the court. Doesn't feel he needs to rush his points.
Oh.
Whereas I think years ago you'd see much shorter points from Rob. Really look to finish the rally.
Second. 30 all. One chase. Rest on the yard.
Stalking up his slightly slower
Jason.
cut volley.
Then he
he's
rips one in. No, I think that adds just to the weapon that is the faster one.
Yeah.
Pulls it out.
Caught Kieran a bit by surprise there. Great feeling when you're standing over in what you right-handers call the forehand court. And in doubles and one gets past you on the floor. Bit like standing under the grill when one gets whacked in there too.
One job.
One
One
job.
job.
30 all. Second gallery. Won the chase. 40-30. Chase, worse than a yard. That's the chase. Ball up. No,
I
you're
just asked Rick
Jeez.
Dunn what the percentage serves are like. Blank.
I think just busy computing there, I think, Pete. He's
He's eyeing
hit
off
the-
the,
he's
I think
hit-
he's eyeing off the pizza, actually, to be honest.
he's hit the calculator.
First gallery. Was it? Thank you.
Don't speak, Paddy, please.
Door. Juice.
Well, I think you do notice in the cricket commentary these days that Finlay does have a bit of commentary going
Advantage,
at times.
one
They
chase.
mic him up. I don't think Rick Dunn has
I don't think he's done enough to deserve it yet, Al. I really don't.
progressed.
I do grant that he's been innovative in giving us a bit of paper with a pen. Jot some stuff down. I was just going to freewheel the whole time.
Best of 5. Yeah. Okay, advantage with the servers. Chases the door. Juice. Juice. Advantage.
Well done there by Chappie.
Beautiful serve. What do you call that serve, Al?
Caterpillar?
Juice.
That's what I call it. Unless someone texts me to say it's called something else. Not an often employed serve.
Second gallery.
Brutal when done effectively.
Juice.
Kieran served a lot of boomerangs in his singles matches yet, and hasn't done one today.
And it is interesting. Not a serve you see very often in Hobart. It's a very challenging serve in Hobart. Penthouse isn't conducive to easy boomerang serving.
Advantage. One chase.
Calculated risk, I think, from KB in the singles. Trying to limit Rob's return of serve, particularly his volley return of serve.
Wow, good to see some smack talk from my sister there on line.
Not complimentary of...
Oh, no, she's very complimentary. I get a compliment from her every decade or so. Really,
Advantage servers.
pretty
Chase the second gallery.
consistently. He's hoping she's managed to get my beautiful nieces to bed in a reasonable state.
Oh. Chappie employing what I might call a Pete Boyles there.
2 games to 1.
Right up close at the net.
Double-handed to the base of the net.
Fault.
I was more thinking the first. Sharp skills.
Very kind of you, Al. Very
You
kind.
brought yourself down there.
Yeah.
I was willing to pay you the compliment.
Like that shot Kieran just hit then, you know, a bit more focus on pace into the corner rather than, well, pace in the shot rather than just the cut. The thing about that really heavy cut is
15
it
love.
does tend to fly. You do have trouble getting it down on the floor.
Fairly small margin of error when you're going for that bigger cut.
15 all. Fault. Nice, 15.
Kieran's struggling to find his range a little bit on those
Sorry?
forces
30,
off the
15,
serve.
and there's one change.
A little bit. Feels like he is just not quite feeling it
30 all.
today.
Well up.
Having said that, that last one, if I was not feeling it, I'd like to not feel it that
you
well.
take it? Yeah. They're doing a very good job of shaming us in the commentary here. You make a comment and they are following us up with a perfect example of what we said they can't do currently.
40-30, one chase.
Funny thing to say here, but I think if Rob and Nick win this game, going to be a fair way back for Chappie and Kieran. Feels like this set's been going for quite a while.
It does. Fairly similar to the start of the first set, actually. Played a very long game at One Love, juice advantage game. Saw Nick and Rob progress from there. I think Kieran and Chris definitely want to win this game.
Hazard better than second gallery. Juice.
It's just past 8 o'clock in London now.
Everyone rising to switch on the streaming, you think? Growing viewers?
Oh, I
Worse
think
than
a couple of our
second
mates with fur babies in London might be
Juice.
just about to step out of bed in their jammies. Nice warm dressing gown.
Advantage, one chase. Advantage servers, worse than second gallery.
Great angle there from Kieran. Very tough shot.
Juice. Advantage receivers.
Great shot from Nick.
Juice.
As you're saying, Pete, I think this is a very, very big game.
Shot.
It's a fantastic shot.
Advantage.
What's that, Rick?
Worse than the door. Advantage, one chase.
I think Patrick's trying to tell me that that was only the second grill that Rob's hit in the match. Oh, the first one. Unusual.
Advantage receivers, chase worse than the door.
Nice pace
Game.
from Nick on that shot.
3 games to 1.
They've been pretty
Second
clinical
set.
from Rob and Nick, I'd say,
Very
to
clinical.
date so far.
Haven't really seen them doing a lot wrong and not many errors. And certainly winning the points, the big points when it's counted.
Fault.
Great stretch from Chappie.
15 love.
So what would you change? Server's end.
Fault.
Hit better shots and make fewer mistakes?
Yeah, exactly. Hit tighter shots. Don't make any errors. Serve better.
Return better?
Yeah. It's really very simple.
30 love. Sorry, 15 all. 30 love. Fault.
At the risk of saying the same thing in a different way, I think, as we were talking before, just that little bit extra pace on the ball, which I think they tried to do earlier in the set, but just keeping that
40 love.
accuracy.
Fault.
Well put away. Beautiful lead there from Kieran on the main order.
Game. 2 games to 3.
Good quick game there. I think Kieran and Chappie will be happy with that one. Keeping them in the set. 4-1 down would have been pretty ugly for them. Was that shot you were talking about, Pete?
Devastating.
Not much you can do about it, really.
Be thankful you're still alive after he's hit it sometimes.
Pull up.
Seen quite a few of those.
30 love.
Rob finding a really good length, jamming both Kieran and Chappie up the service end. Nice
shot.
from Kieran. Beautiful execution there of the...
Real luxury in a doubles combination to have somebody of the caliber of Kieran playing the net.
Oh.
Hazard the line. Hit the net post. As it went over, yeah.
What's your...
Loss of point, apparently.
Really? That's not what I would have thought that to be. Ball ran along the...
Yeah.
Ran along the net cord, hit the post, and then went onto the hazard end, but they lose the
40-15.
point.
Ball hadn't hit the ground or a gallery.
Here's the replay.
Yep. Right call, Al.
But if the ball had floated over the
No,
net
you're wrong.
and landed on the
No,
ground
you're just making a
in
fool
the
of
same
yourself.
place, how is that?
No,
how is that different? Just because you don't have an answer to my question doesn't mean you need to insult me.
Oh, I don't need to, but I was enjoying it. Beautiful serve.
Juice.
Good to see Kieran doing that short railroad serve from up the court there.
It's been quite effective for him so far.
Very different from his heavy
Advantage.
cut railroad that he does in singles. He's looking to just keep that really thin.
And I think it's working for him. It's definitely limiting Nicky in terms of what he can do with the ball.
Last gallery, advantage.
Never a great feeling when you're standing in front of the galleries and someone gets past you like that.
Well, if it hits the net post.
Good shot from Nick.
If it hits the net post like on the floor, you lose the point. No, it went over.
Zach there giving a accurate and correct summary
Of why I was wrong.
Why you embarrassed yourself on international streaming.
Captured for eternity.
Advantage receivers.
Hope you've taken a note of the time. Put together a short clip.
I'm drowning in opportunity to insult you, Al, you know that.
Ooh.
Game. 3 games all.
A couple of games there from Kieran Chris. Back in the set, 3-all. Into the vital 7th.
Worse than 2.
Has worse than 2. No. 4 and 5. 2 chases.
What's your prediction from here, Pete? In the second set.
Good question. Probably, I reckon, 3 to 4 more insults from me, maybe a couple quips back from you. I feel like Chappie and Kieran, the score's looking better for them, but I still feel like, you know, the momentum's not with them. They haven't really hit their straps yet.
Love.
Both have gone to that thin railroad now. Shot roll.
15 all. A court. 30-15.
I think if KB and Chappie can just keep holding it,
You all right? Want to take a minute?
keeping the games under control, they're going to have a period of time, hopefully, where they dominate. If they can capitalise, they might still squeeze this set out.
40-15.
So I think that's the good news for them, really, is I don't feel like they're playing...
No, they're certainly not a long way out of it.
40-15.
Yeah, I think there's certainly an upside to their game that they could bring to the table.
Thanks, Rob.
Looks like we're in for a hunger break.
Yeah.
Welcome, Patrick Dunn, to the booth.
Thank you, Pete. I feel like I've been promoted. Great pleasure to be
Feel
here.
a bit like sort of where the CIA or the FBI or something, doing a stakeout.
We do have a panorama of the club car park in the commentary position, which is
40-15,
considered
I
servers.
think if we
Chase the first
called for a
gallery.
raid, there'd be half the crowd would shoot through, wouldn't they? Thank goodness that can happen to anybody.
30-40.
Seems to happen to me on troubling regularity.
Game. 4 games to 3.
Oh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's a very big game.
Pretty soft error there. Those high cut
15
volleys
love.
are really allowing Rob particularly to take his shot quite high, net height, and be quite aggressive with it rather than off his toes.
15 all.
I've been very impressed the last couple of games that I've seen with the ability of the pros to just dump that pace on the volley into the main wall and still play a good length ball on the other end.
Good pace from KB there.
30-15.
Nice control there from Nick.
30 all.
Didn't panic.
No. Forty 30. Oh,
This is a big point here.
chase the door. 40-30.
Just as you do,
Yep.
retrieve between the legs shot.
On the crucial point, just
Yeah. Look at that.
I think that
No smile either, all business. Do you see that?
very much so.
Focus. Hashtag focus.
40-30 receivers, chase the door.
Most likely cause one of us grievous bodily harm, Pete.
Fault.
You likely to have a shave during your time down in Tassie, Paddy?
On holidays, mate.
Juice.
There is a dinner on Wednesday night, which I've been invited to, which I might scrub up for. It is at Rams's place, though, so we shall see.
Some spectacular athleticism displayed there, just amazing. Almost looked like Rob was toying with him a couple of shots, just too easy.
How's it half a yard, Juice?
We would have been undone a lot earlier in that rally than that. Speak for myself,
Second gallery, 2 chases.
I do feel that Chapman KB have lifted a little bit. I think they've got a bit of belief in their game the last little bit. looking for a confirmation from Al Ramsey, but he's got other things on his mind.
Scores juice, Hazard, half
Hope
a
you'll be
yard.
leaving some of that for me, Al. Rats.
Advantage.
I think with
Takes
the
a second, gallery.
Chapman Booth combination, they've been able to apply the pressure with that and pace without giving away on
Service point. It's the game. 5 games to 3.
What do you think about the fist pump, Paddy?
Second set.
Like I'm big on the high fives and similar, but
Yeah, I mean, you're famous for going to the well, aren't you?
finding a partner to reciprocate is sometimes a struggle. Our previous commentator's not very
15
interested
love.
in that kind of activity.
Oh, it's good to see the ever youthful Rob. Keeping up with what the kids are up to.
30 love, ball up.
I wouldn't mind seeing a bit of a explosion on that fist pump, though.
I find these pairings interesting. Booth Chapman very expressive on their shots, big backswings, and then in some ways Nick is replicating some of Rob's stuff. It's just tight control. Obviously hasn't got the runs on for that Rob has, but some of his shots are very similar.
Incredibly compact swing. Almost looks like he's not going to hit the ball, and then suddenly, beautifully
15,
crisp shot comes
30.
back.
Great timing as well.
No.
So cruel net.
Come on, next one.
30 all.
30 all, 5-3 down for Chapman Booth. Chappie's got to do something here. Oh,
40-30.
set point.
Rare loose serve from Rob.
Game in the second set, 6-3.
Total control from Rob and
Third set,
Rob and Nick,
Rob's
sorry.
serve. Level.
So we've maintained the same pairings here. Rob serving to Chapman.
15 love.
They worked really hard to get themselves back to 3-all, and then conceded 3 games pretty quickly.
All.
And there weren't many glaring mistakes that I saw. It was just
Oh.
Interesting. Just saw Chappie and KB with a fist tap, so could be significant.
Contagious.
Or not.
30-15.
We have had 3 balls where someone's hit into the net, so maybe that is what's contagious as opposed to the continued success of this pump.
Second gallery. 30-15. Yeah. Go.
Good control there from Chappie.
Study all. Forty, 30, one chase.
What's the change you make here for the Chapman boost combination? Do you start focusing on just maintaining the serve, making things work in your favour from the service end? Because they have picked up the pace and the pressure in the previous set, and that proved to be unsuccessful. Well, not unsuccessful, but not enough to overcome Rob and Nick.
It's a good question. I think at this stage of the game with those guys, they probably need to start trying to get some quick points, see if they can live by the sword, for want of a better phrase.
Receivers lead, yeah. 40, 30.
Been some long rallies, but they're not winning enough of those long rallies, for my mind.
Fault.
Nick running for cover, but thankfully safe due to the fault.
Speak of the devil. There was a statement. That got the crowd out of their seats.
That's how you hit a grill. Straight drive into the net, and then beautiful deviation.
Advantage. Jeez.
Good point to win, good rally.
Pretty crucial game.
I think so, they want to start positively this set.
Yeah, just get some momentum.
Advantage.
Not so much for Rob and Nick, they're sitting pretty.
Game. One game to love. Third set. Hazard. Second gallery.
Just about to say,
No
you've
strokes.
got to find a way to make Rob and Nick force from bad positions, and they got exactly what they wanted. Unfortunately, second gallery hazard was the result. Never the shot you're looking for. Great pace.
Worse than 5.
Dry smile there from Chappie. Probably
Father of one.
it's hard to know whether he got out of the way or it missed, really.
He just generates that, as we said before, minimal backswing, and just the timing just generates that phenomenal pace. Chappie's probably feeling quite good about that volley, and then boom.
No strokes. Hazard, second gallery. Hazard. Out of court. 15 love. Worse than 5. 15 all.
Good return there from Kieran. Rob was up.
Ball.
For it.
$30-15.
We got a few minutes, I reckon, in this match before it'll be hard to see them.
40-15.
I think so. I think you're noticing them just trying to hit out of a slump, but I'm not sure that it's working for the moment. Defensive Nick and Rob very solid.
Ball. Game. 2 games to love.
Start simple. Retain the service end.
Just methodical, isn't it?
Go from there.
Very much look like Rob and Nick are playing within themselves.
They're very comfortable with what's being dished up from the receiving end at the moment.
Hazard the line.
So what was the difference there from the one that our Ramsey called wrong earlier?
No, at the edge.
That one bounced on the other side and not the net post? Is
Yeah,
that
it hit below the gallery on the ball,
15
Paddy.
love.
Therefore, counted as in.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on
Happy to do some remedial tennis rules with you later if you like.
that. Well, I think I'm okay, but let's sit down with Al maybe and have a chat. He's more likely to paddle that ball into the net.
Well done, Zach, though. He's had a couple of challenging calls.
30 love.
I haven't noticed a moment where the pros have looked back at the marker and questioned the call, so he's done very well.
You're trying to suggest that Kieran's been complaining all match?
No. I was like, haven't noticed a moment. May have happened, but I wasn't there. Too busy jotting down my stats and similar.
15-30. Chase. One chase.
This is the first time that these guys have been up here this set? Feels like it.
Hal's happy to say yes.
$40-15 service lead. Hazard the line.
Desperately need this game.
No, definitely.
Hazard the line. Ball.
Do you think Rob will go for the dead on here, or maybe even high back wall, get him down the court? Or just drill KB
That
down
made
the centre?
Uncomfortable sound.
30-40.
It's important for Kieran to focus, despite what just happened at this point, because this is a very big one for him. It's really pain.
Ball.
Help if Chappie landed a serve that would help him.
Been hit by the tennis ball, mate, Paddy?
Al almost killed me one day.
Just worse than 3.
Is
there a story to tell, or?
Look, Al drove a ball that I misread off the racket, and there was a sickening thud as I crumpled under it. Thankfully, Al decided to ask how I was going. Didn't jump the net and worry, but thankfully breathing resumed shortly after, and I was okay.
Sound like you might still be holding on to a bit of a grudge about that incident.
Well, so short of breath, I forgot to say good shot to him. Said something else, and didn't quite make it.
Juice. Advantage receivers.
Rare error from Rob there.
Game. 1 game to 2. Third set.
Kieran and Chappie have got to string some together here. Get some momentum going.
Love. Love.
Nick Structure's just really smooth, doesn't he? If he was a cricketer, who do you reckon he'd be?
Better than second. Thank you.
Just trying to put a Hurricanes player in here after they're playing tonight, I think. Darcy Short comes to mind, clubs the ball, very steady.
I was thinking more of Mark Waugh. Kawaja, later day player.
I think Kawaja maybe. I think Mark Waugh may be a bit more expressive than Nick is on the shot play.
40 love, 1 chase.
Nick's very late to the ball. Perfect timing. Have you seen his brother play cricket? I understand he's quite the cricket player.
No, I was just saying that earlier today. Have to see if he's got some.
40 over receivers lead. Chase Hazard better than second gallery. Okay. 3 games to 1.
Reasonable serve there, just not quite tight enough. Unfortunately, he's been doing that pretty well.
Nice around.
15 love.
Rob was left in a very lonely place. Watching the main wall dead end in Hobart. Sneak behind you. Yours, Chappie.
Worse than last gallery. Love. Love, 1 chase.
Might have just heard Chappie letting out a bit of a team secret there about their strategy. Not sure chaos theories necessarily going to go brilliantly, but you know, good to have a plan.
Yeah. Well, we did see in the singles semi-final that Chappie was just in it the whole way. When it was very much against him on the scoreboard, he managed to stay in and grit out a result.
Guts it out, yeah.
I'm not saying that going 2-0 down to a doubles partnership with Rob Fahey features one of your oppositions is a great plan, but
they're lulling. You're suggesting they're lulling, do you?
I think it's a very deep lull. It'll take a lot of work.
15-40.
Get a game here. on Chappie's racket, and then maybe we can start something. Come on, Chappie, I'm willing you here.
30-40. No, not up. Half a yard worse than 6.
All 4 of these players are supremely fit. It's really noticeable when you're seeing them in the flesh.
40-30 service lead. Chase
Look
half
like
a
they can
yard
go all
worse
day.
than 6.
Chappie just looked a bit tired then. He's been suffering from a virus all week, so he's done an amazing job just to get out on court.
Joys of being a parent, did you say?
Yep. Carrying a germ note around with you most of the day.
Deuce.
That corner's always going to
advantage servers.
Prove to be a good one if you get that nice cup ball in there. Doesn't seem to bounce as much as other courts.
Cue.
Just need to find a way. Service, get back in this game.
1 fault.
Rob looking super relaxed.
He senses there's something he needs to put an imprint on.
Power.
Advantage.
Mark one up for Rob. Shot before, I thought he'd almost ended his partner. Chappie came searching for a ball that Kieran volleyed, but that was a great recovery from Kieran.
Authoritative.
That's all these shots from Nick there.
Advantage.
With an open court in that
This
backhand
tap.
on it again.
They're rising to the challenge. Trying to G himself up.
Won by Kieran.
Game.
That shot would have been a winner on any other court. But just narrowly missed the grill, but still managed to play a good shot to win her off.
Stroke.
Good heat.
15 love.
Well, I think it might be time for me to depart the chair and let Al come back and talk us through the rest of this match. It's been a blast.
15 all.
Thank you, Pete. It's been a pleasure. Unfortunately, going to miss the thrilling comeback that's about to start. Al will be here to join me as we talk you through the next couple of sets.
Yeah, I'm settling in for 5-set marathon here, Paddy.
Worse than 1. Thank you. 15 all, 1 chase.
In preparation for that, we must thank our better halves at home who've done the business for the children tonight to allow us to enjoy this. Oh, well, Nick might have other ideas.
30,
That's a
15.
great shot.
Yes, shout out to everyone listening at home. The live streaming has been fantastic. Very sensitive mic we had early on in the week. Tony Blom got himself caught out. His young family was watching him at home and
Better than 1.
he missed a volley in the forehand corner close to the microphone and uttered a word that was only suitable for adult ears, and talking to his 3-year-old daughter after the game. Daddy, you said a rude word. So some fast modifications were made to the microphone on court during the week, limiting the ability of players to embarrass themselves. Now, interestingly, Paddy, we've had a lot of complaints this week about the length of the handle on the basket by our visiting players.
Oh, really?
Noting the difficulty of getting the balls into the ball well.
Oh.
Not something I've found, personally as a local, but a few comments have been made.
Look, I think the deep well in Hobart the balls run into
30-15,
provides a great
service
service
lead.
that few other clubs have replicated. So
Hazard,
I think
worse
the
than the
trade-off
yard.
for angling the basket slightly is you're depositing the balls back into the well at the service end. More than compensated by that.
Very nice use of the word well, there, Paddy. A couple times of conversation. I think this is definitely time where I think you would agree that Kieran and Chappie are needing to go to the well.
Hazard better than a yard.
I think it's an untapped reserve for them at this stage they need to embrace.
One. What was the chase?
Better than a yard.
I thought it was one, but did you think it was better than the ball? Chase off.
Chase off.
Chase off. We'll just
Thank
zoom
you.
in on the Has galleries to
all.
confirm that. It's been a
Sadly,
Shirley moment.
sadly, no camera pointing out the hazards. This time. Ooh.
Just missed. 40-30.
Good shot. And
Thank you.
good return of volley. Big point here, 40-30 to the leaders. Has a chase.
To 30, receivers lead. Hazard better than the first gallery.
Great serve on a hazard chase.
And gets a reward.
Juice.
Really, really big point here. Similar pattern to the second set here. Kieran and Chappie fighting their way back to, at least attempting to fight their way back to 3-all. Beautiful cut volley return serve there from Nick. Chappie had no answer.
Big point, and Kieran has gone with...
back to the high drop.
Well,
a bit of blessing in disguise there.
advantage, one chase.
So advantage to the service, good chase.
1 yard.
Kieran, subtle or unsubtle with the return here? What do we think?
Unsubtle.
Well,
Known Kieran for a very long time.
So going to try and cut it under Rob on the floor here.
No, I don't think there will be a gentle cut into the corner. Watch him prove me wrong. Yes, there's that booth subtlety that we know so well.
Juice. Juice.
Great shot by Rob. Really picks that angle under the winning gallery
Advantage
well.
servers.
A lot of pressure back on the person receiving court.
I think what Pete was saying before about the change in Rob's cut volley return of serve is true across a whole lot of his game. Really searching for accuracy.
Game. Servers lead, 4 games to 2. Third set.
Very tough here, I think, for Kieran and Chris.
Has a better than 2.
The one good shot you play to take control of the point pays off either immediately or with the next shot that you get to put away. It's the brash shot often makes more work for you.
15 love.
I think you could distill that into a coaching gem, Patrick. Patrick Dunn Guide to Tennis.
And the last gallery, 2 chases.
Talk a reasonable game. Can't execute it at all.
Have a whole chapter on going to the well and strategies to find your way out.
Have to provide your doubles partner with the advice they don't need at exactly the moment. Al, I think that you need to work on not hitting the back wall on the full. Thanks, Patrick. I think I realise this.
You could safely devote a couple of chapters to your...
Notes gleaned
15
from
love.
sitting up front of the galleries.
Better than 2.
Watching your partner play all the shots.
15 love receivers. Receivers point. 30 love, last gallery.
Just hit the line post there. Dig back here.
15-30.
Nick forcing some pace there into the net.
Use them.
40-15.
Great accuracy there.
Game. 5 games to 2.
Very well played there. From Rob, just forcing right when it matters with accuracy, as you see so often from his
5-2,
game.
receivers lead.
Be looking to close it out very quickly here, I think. Really very solid, confident display from Rob and Nick today.
Good recovery, little slip there.
Love. Bolt. Love. $15-30. Nope. 30 all.
Couple of points away from the win here.
Yeah, serve.
40-30.
Perfect time for it. I think Nick will be very keen to put it in front of these couple of points after his semi.
Game.
Sneaking on.
3 games to 5.
Sneaking game there,
Right,
Chris
Nick.
and Kieran. Still a big hill to climb. Nick a little sore after that one.
I think he may have corked himself with the ball against the wall.
Bolt.
And for glory.
Hazard, second gallery, no strokes.
Could this be the time for non-stop gallery play from the Ruth Chapman combination? Galleries from both ends to stimulate the shot play of Rob and
Just getting back up to the service end all the time. Well, at this point, anything's a strategy, I suppose.
You could play the perfect game where you turn a serve straight into the galleries on both ends. Short rallies, you're always in control. Not sure this will take a chapter of my book, but maybe a footnote.
Probably not the greatest strategy when you're playing two of the best players in the world at the other end.
I grant you there are some problems in it.
Early stages of the strategy, Patrick. Early stages. It's all right. Great ideas always start from somewhere.
Just put it in my back pocket for our next play you and see how it gets received.
Will we be seeing you out on court now more, Patrick? Your medical exams are over.
Yes, I look forward to returning to the court. Living the double life of a Melbourne member who represents his home club when it comes to Hobart.
It's the only way.
State of origin.
Kieran does it with pride.
Yeah.
Very good to be, I think just representing one club is an excellent way to go.
Got some unfinished business with Percy Finch to deal with.
They've been part of a winning Percy Finch side.
I would say that despite my best efforts...
Never lucked out?
Never lucked out. I think when you have me playing line 2 against Haps, not a great formula for success.
For those international viewers, Percy Finch being the annual Hobart versus Melbourne match. Melbourne have proved very dominant over the years.
40 love receivers lead. Hazard, second gallery.
I must admit there have been some wins in my lifetime, but unfortunately I've had my exams to worry about, so I've missed them.
Well, priorities, Patrick, priorities.
15-40. Strokes.
Well, I've been prattling away about my not so great tennis accomplishments. Chapman Booth combination.
Snuck a couple of games here at the end.
Bit of life here.
Can they sneak the next two games and take it to a fourth?
Prying some fingers off the trophy.
Excellent pace from Chapman. Brilliant defence from Nicky. Some might say self-preservation.
Yours, partner.
And for glory.
15 love. All.
Unfortunate. Making a good fist of it here. Great boast here from Rob.
Shocking bounce. Kieran, unfortunately, he knows that all too well. Hobart local. Magical mystery tour of the way the balls can come out deep in the corner. Nice change of pace and length there from Kieran. Just been mixing it up a little bit in the last couple of games. Seems to be working for them.
Yeah, I think that Rob and Nick have become very accustomed to the pace that was coming in the first two sets, so the mix-up's been quite useful for them, I think. Oh, it's a great volley by Chappie. Wow. Double-hander. Class in front of the grill.
40-30.
Big point here. This
Points
is
for
5-all.
5-all.
Fault.
done, Chappie.
Okay,
Game.
5-all.
Striking. Should I start preparing the
5
message to
games
Pete?
all.
Got a ring dinger here. It's always handy when Rob serves up at the start of the 5-all. Exciting game.
So I think definitely part of the strategy that the better player is there at 5-all.
That's great, Kieran.
Pretty nasty one. Well done by Nicky. Oh, leaving the hazard. Smart play there.
Geez, Nicky's done well there.
Hazard worse than 1 yard.
Might need to go to the racket bag for a new one after those scrapers.
Stroke. 15
Control
love.
by Chappie there.
Very great control. Didn't try to hit his main or dead on too hard there. Just wanted to make sure he got it in the right spot.
I think he attacked a great spot there because even if the ball was to go round, he was always playing it behind Rob, with Nick well out of the point.
Hazard the line. 2 chases.
Well, 15 love, I believe. We're about to get that confirmed by the market. 2 hazards. Chappie serving. Rob returning. Leeds King, bit of a railroad comes. There'll be some main more dead-ons to uncork.
Maybe a nice straight force down the middle. Aiming for the nick here in Hobart.
15 love servers lead. First chase is hazard worse than a yard.
Okay, short hazard chase.
Fault.
Plan B on the serve.
It's in.
Just so strong from Rob there. That flick of the wrist straight into the main or dead on. It's just a superb shot.
I think Kieran would have been really happy with his shot from that position. Tucked under the winning gallery.
15 all.
Did well on a tough return from Rob. Great volley defence there from Kieran. Superb by Chappie. Great reaction.
That had to be a good shot from Nick because both he and Rob were well out of the court there when he played it. And he wasn't able to capitalise, leaving Chappie into wrest control of the point.
Good position here for Chappie and KB.
Nice smile from Rob when he watched this high serve go up. It's the great unknown when the ball goes up high. Will it work in my favour or not? Neither player knows, especially here.
Great second serve from Chappie. Points, 2, 3.
40-15.
2 points is what I'm trying to say. Great fight back in this set. The addition of our new lights in Hobart, that high serve can be a little tricky at times. After the cut volley. Oh, tough length.
Tough length.
30-40.
Sliding into the wall in front of your racket. Always a tough ball.
Chappie will definitely be looking for a good first serve here.
Oh, right.
Again, the class of Rob at a big point.
Phenomenal shot.
Juice.
Swinging round volley. It's his 7th dead-ons.
Thank you, Rick. It's nice that we could get you in just for this match.
So I'd like to thank the club for playing 5 flights down here. They did not play 5 flights down here.
I'm still an amateur.
Very much so.
Oh, dear.
Advantage.
Now look at this change.
Great angle from Rob there.
Rob and Nick have match points.
That's the problem with that high serve, though. Sometimes you're up against it once it lands.
Oh, very well played. To the backhand dead zone
Juice.
here in Hobart.
With Gibbs and it taketh away.
A couple of better serves there from Chappie, these last 2 points.
Kieran falling out of that shot.
Advantage.
Nasty, nasty bounce there for Kieran. As you say, giveth and it taketh away.
I think it's unfortunately sitting on that ball from Kieran to pick a different angle.
Oh.
Second serve, match point down.
I think we'll see the bobble here.
More accurate than Bradfield on the serve prediction.
Very, very good game of doubles.
6-3, 6-5.
Super strong from Rob and Nick. And Kieran and Chris will be disappointed not to take out that third set. And fighting back from having a couple of set points, but as is the class of Rob.
Yeah, I think that they, in that final set, found the benefit of mixing up the pace
6-1,
to
6-3, 6-5.
looks they were seeing, but unfortunately, the class at the end of Rob, I think he hit 3 dead-ons in that last game, just too much.
And that brings it to a close, the Australian Open of 2018, the Hobart edition. Seen a fantastic week of tennis. Very high quality tennis, particularly in the last few days over the semi-finals and the finals. I think it's a testament to all the organisation in the club. A lot of effort's gone into organising the event from Arta and the Hobart Club, and we've been very well supported by a number of sponsors who I'd like to pay mention to. So obviously our main sponsor, naming rights sponsor, PlayBrave, Bendigo Bank, Federal Hotels and Hexagon, local consulting firm Hexagon, supporting us very well. All tournaments like this just aren't possible without the support of our sponsors. Network Gaming, Something from the Ground Blueberries, White Beach Civil Solutions, Respone Hotel, and some of our product sponsors, Asahi, Cascade, Jantz, Muirs, and of course, Tasmanian Sports Physio. Been excellent supporters of this event. It's been wonderful to see everyone enjoying the event, and young Sophie Fahey,
You got vision?
constant presence as everyone gets organised for the presentations at the end of the match here. Big thanks too to our local professionals, Brett McFarlane and Zach Edel. They've done a fantastic job this week. Has it inspired you, Patrick? Got some new shots that you will be trying out. That Nick Howell forehand force volley. I think you'll be adding that to your repertoire.
I was fortunate to have the opportunity to play this morning and tried a couple of shots that I'd seen. Unfortunately, none of them worked, so back to the drawing board tomorrow morning. Wednesday morning. I think it'll be interesting. It's a big year for tennis. Challenges coming up soon. US Open in a couple of weeks.
Very exciting. I'm looking forward to the qualifiers coming up. Rob spending a couple more weeks in Hobart, and then we'll be returning to England to play, as in qualifying match. Chappie taking on Steve Vagona.
I think Rob's playing Bryn in Queens. Is that
Queens, correct? Yes.
Where Bryn's quite strong.
Definitely some local court advantage there potentially, but it'll be a fascinating match. I think we are coming up ready for the presentations. Christine Sterling, Hobart Club President, corralling the troops. Across now to the presentations.
So how do you want it, Martin? Is that good? In a row. That was a fabulous game of tennis. It was so exciting, and I can only say, can we all give some applause for the players? It was fabulous. That was the final match in the Australian Open 2018 and the doubles, the Open doubles final. Very exciting. Before I pass over to Graham, who's the chair of Art and is going to give the prizes, I'd actually just like to say thank you to a couple of people on the organising committee. It did take a small team of people to put this together, but I think two people deserve a bit of a special recognition. One is Nikki Millard, who's been very behind the scenes, but she's been doing all the posting on Facebook, Twitter, and updating on the website, and it really has been exceptional. So I think recognition to Nikki. And also to Elizabeth Eden, who's been here every day, working very hard on organising seating and billeting and really doing the fine, detailed work of making sure things work. So I'd also like to thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. So a final thank you to our sponsors. I will actually name them all this time, but thank you, PlayBrave, fabulous, big sponsorship. But also we have Hexagon, Bendigo Bank, White Beach Civil Solutions, Something from the Ground, Network Gaming, Federal Hotels and Rest Point, Tasmania. So thank you very much. They were great sponsors. We also had some product sponsorship from Asahi, Cascade and Mules Tasmania and also Tas Sports Physio. So that's the sponsors have really helped make this a great tournament. So thank you to the sponsors. Right. I'm going to hand over to Graham Bradfield, who's chair of ARTA, to give out or talk about handing out the medals. I might hand them out because he has a little bit more of an insight into the tennis that we've just seen, which is fabulous.
I think that's an amazing that Christine remembered all of the sponsors, given how many champagnes she's had next to me sitting in the dead-ons. I just like that's a fantastic effort. Look, great game of doubles today. Really tight 3 sets. They played fantastic volleying, really attacking tennis, and I'd just like to hand the runners-up, Kieran and Chappie, the runners-up medals. Kieran Booth, Chris Chapman. And we really enjoy Chris Chapman coming out from England. I mean, it's a long way to come, and he enjoys coming to Hobart, don't you, Chappie? So it's, yeah, fantastic. If we can have him back next year, that'd be great. And this pair doesn't need any introduction. Well, one of them especially, Hobart born and bred Rob. He's won quite a few of these doubles, but for Nick Howell, this is his first Open doubles title, so I'd like to congratulate him. And if we could ask Nick to say some words, seeing he's the debutant.
Thanks. Firstly, I would like to congratulate my opponents, Chris and Kieran, for a really hard-fought match. You guys really pushed us, especially in that last set. You know, you had a couple set points, so unlucky there. To my partner, Rob, thank you for asking to play with me. You can't get much better partner than Rob, so this is more Rob's than mine. He was sensational tonight, and he's an awesome player, obviously, and an awesome partner to play with. He supports you so much, so it's great playing with Rob. To the committee that organised the tournament, Graham, Christine, Liz, Sophie and the rest of the team, thank you for all the hard work. You've made this 9 days so easy for the amateurs and the professionals that played this week. It's been a wonderful week. To the sponsors, PlayBrave, our main sponsors, thank you. It enables the professionals to be able to get out here and come play for some prize money, and so we can keep going to all these events. So I know the hard work that goes in behind it, so we appreciate it very much. To all the spectators, thank you very much for coming out to watch. It's so much fun playing with a big crowd, so really appreciate that. And yeah, I haven't forgotten yet. I'm not you. I don't forget. Only joking. Brett and Zach, you guys have worked many hours this week and leading up to it, so thank you for the hard work you guys have done. And lastly, to my mum, who came out for 5 days to come cheer me on, wherever she is. There you go. So, thank you very much.
Thanks. Hand those over. And did you want to write a reply, Kieran?
Yeah,
say
I'll
a
say
few
couple
words.
words.
That'd be good.
So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Rob and Nick. As it's been mentioned, Nick's first one. Welcome to the club. Well done. I'd like to thank Chris for agreeing to play. He was thinking about going and spending some more time back in Melbourne, so I appreciate him staying for a couple of extra days to play in the doubles as well. So thank you. I'd like to thank Hobart for hosting this year. They've done a fantastic job. All the supporters that have come out for most of the tournament, it's been great to have full dead-ons and lots of people around the club. You've really turned out in force, so thank you for that. And thank you to Brett and Zach. You've done a great job with all the marking of the matches and the scheduling, so well done. And also, I think Christine mentioned that it's not just one or two people, it's a whole organising committee, and I'd like to thank all of those guys for the work that they've done over the months, not just this last week. So thank you guys. And a final thank you to all my family who've been here to watch. I appreciate it.
I think that concludes. So I suspect we've got time to go off and have a celebratory drink or two. Thank you everybody for coming. Is that all, Rob? Did you? Yeah. Thanks everyone. And Duff TV. Thank you. Thank you.
Jeez.
It's your turn.
Straight here? Oh, well.
Just both of us, yeah.
Nick, Rob, fantastic match. Just like to touch on a couple of points. You came out of the blocks pretty fast there and seemed to have it under control. Did you think you did in the first game?
I think the first set was very intense, actually. All four of us probably played our best in the first set. And we won a couple of kind of critical points, which just put us in front, and then we kind of held our lead to the end, but it was a very tight first set.
Were you surprised, Nick, at some of the volleys that Rob was getting, given his age?
No, not at all. As you can see, he hasn't lost a lot. He's still unbelievable. When he needs it, he pulls it right out the bag. We're two set points down, and the shots he pulled at 40-30, that main wall dead on off a sidewall cut serve was unbelievable. So, that's what happens when you play with the GOAT. You get to see some amazing shots that no one else can pull off. So.
Well, the dead-on was just going, can he possibly be that age and have those reflexes? So, Rob, you were really showing it tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I've played doubles is my game, I think now. Like, I don't have to run as far, and so if they hit it at me, I'm still not too bad. But I really enjoyed that, and we've played how many? Five, and I've not enjoyed doubles that much over the years, but I must say, now I'm playing with Nikki. We're having a lot of fun with it, and the pressure's off, and we're playing beautifully, and we were unlucky not to win a couple of other ones, actually.
it was interesting. It permeated through the dead-ons. We could see that the two of you are having so much fun that the mood in the dead-ons definitely lifted because they could see you having such an enjoyable time. And also you were playing such attacking volleying and shots and really hammering the bottom edge of the timbre. So in that third set, were you thinking it might have gone to a fourth?
Well, once you get set points down, I suppose it's hard not to. But I actually played a couple of bad games in that third set, and we should have gone 5-1 up. We definitely should have clinched it a bit earlier. But credit to them, they stuck at it, and if we were missing, they were winning. And so, at that level, you can't afford to just let it slip,
I noticed some of your drag serves. I can't believe they made it onto the penthouse. There just seemed to be no daylight at all between the ball and the penthouse.
Yeah, I served one pretty good one that I can remember. I served a few good serves tonight, but yeah, it's hard. It's not easy, is it? Serving to those boys, there's something quick's coming back.
Nick, do you sometimes feel the pressure of playing with someone like this?
I did early on, not tonight, but early on when we first started playing. But now it's been over a year playing together, so I just enjoy playing with him. He's actually really relaxed out there, keeps me calm, and we just have fun. It's good going out there, just giving the ball a smack, and as long as we keep most of them under the penthouse, we got a good chance.
So you guys are going to come back to defend your title next year?
I'll come back for sure.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, it's a title now. We've got to.
Yeah, I think we've got to defend it.
I think we'll hold you to that. Thanks, guys. It was a fantastic match to watch. Thanks, guys. Well done. Thanks, Nick. Is that all right, Mark?
He's hoping she's managed to get my beautiful nieces to bed in a reasonable state.
Oh.
Think about that.
Advantage receivers.
Great shot from Nick.
Deuce.
As you're saying, Pete, I think this is a very, very big game.
Shot.
Great stretch from Chappie. I'll put away. Beautiful leave there from Kieran on the main or dead on at the service end. Nice from Kieran.
Right call, Al.
But if the ball had floated over the net
you're wrong.
and landed on the ground
No, you're just making a
in
fool
the
of
same
yourself.
place, how is that?
No,
how is that different? shot, Rob.
volley. Thank goodness that can happen to anybody. Ooh, that's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's a very big game.
Pretty soft error there.
Into the main wall and still play a good length ball on the other end.
Good pace. Good pace from KB there.
30-15.
Nice control there.
Chase the door.
This is a cruel net.
Good control there from Chappie. Speak of the devil. There was a statement. That got the crowd out of their seats.
A Tahita grill, straight drive.
There was a statement. That got the crowd out of their seats.
A Tahita grill, straight drive into the net, and then beautiful deviation.
Advantage. Advantage.
Not so much for Rob and Nick. They're sitting pretty.
String.
Yep.
Game.
What they wanted, unfortunately, so Gallery has it, was the result. Never the shot you're looking for. Noticed a moment. May have happened, but I wasn't there. Too busy jotting down my stats and similar.
15, 30.
Clubs the ball, very steady.
I was thinking more of Mark Waugh.
Ooh.
Kawaja, later day player.
Do you think he's, I think, Kawaja maybe. I think Mark Waugh might be a bit more expressive than Nick is on with his shot play. Watching the main wall dead end in Hobart, sneak behind you. Yours, Chappie.
Worth.
Good ball back here. He knows that corner's always going to...
Advantage servers.
Oh, Kieran. Shot before, I thought.
Authoritative.
I thought that would have been a winner on any other court, but just narrowly missed the grill, but still managed to play a good shot to win it off.
Stroke.
Good heat.
Better than a yard. Ball up, Rob. Chase off.
chase off. We'll
Thank
zoom
you.
in on the...
No, I don't think there will be a gentle cut into the corner. Watch him prove me wrong. Yes, there's that booth subtlety that we know so well.
Stevens point.
Put his in front of these couple of points after his semi.
Game.
It's the only way.
State of origin.
Kieran does it with pride.
Yeah.
Very good to be, I think just representing one club is an excellent way to go.
Got some unfinished business with Percy Finch to deal with.
Ever been part of a winning Percy Finch side?
Patrick, I would say that despite my best efforts,
Never lucked out.
15-40. Stroke.
well, I've been perhaps I might
say self-preservation.
Yours, partner. And a good fist of it here. Great volley by Chappie. Wow. Double-hander. Class in front of the grill.
40-30.
Did well on a tough return from Rob. Great volley defense there from Kieran. Superb by Chappie. Great reaction.
That had to be a good shot from Nick because in front of your racket. Always a tough ball.
Chappie will definitely be looking for a good first serve here.
Oh, Rob. That's okay.
And again, the class of Rob at a big... I think we'll see the bobble here.
More accurate than Bradfield on the serve prediction.
Very, very good game of doubles.
6-3, 6-5.
Super strong from Rob and Nick.